said he ran like 206.
And it shows that it affected me more than people know.
Like a 9-minute pace.
You ignored me for 2 weeks, then said hello. You just went with it like it was a
Like 10-minute pace.
We spoke, didn't work out cause you couldn't code. Why you yelled at the table cause you know that at one point you'll end up all alone.
I don't think we can bring glass in.
I know that you cry at night, just
a little much.
so stupefied. Always ask yourself why, coming up without lies. I know that you feel bad, that you lost something good. And I'm not saying that you should, but do I cross your mind? And let's be real, were you telling me exactly how you feel? Some idea that made me all blind to a truth that wasn't always right. And so I yelled, and I was cruel because I couldn't tell why your carbon was making me feel like hell. How'd it take so long for me to start my bill? Chilling with all your friends, that will leave you at the end. Because you can change your head, so you smile and pretend. I know that you feel bad, that you lost something good. And I'm not saying that you should, but I know I cross your mind.
You might stick that one. Yeah.
Just cause you seem stupefied, always asking yourself why, coming up without lies. And I know that you feel bad, that you lost something good. And I'm not saying that you should, but I know I'm crossing.
No.
The song I'm going to be singing is called It Ain't Me, Babe by Bob Dylan, and I hope you enjoy it. away from my window. Leave at your own chosen speed. I'm not the one you want, babe. I'm not the one you need. You say you're looking for someone who's never weak, but always strong, to protect you and defend you, whether you are right or wrong. Someone's open each and every door, but that ain't me, babe. No, 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 that ain't me, babe. That ain't me you're looking for, babe. From the ledge, babe, go lightly on the ground. I'm not the one you want, babe. I will only let you down. You say you're looking for someone who will promise never to part. Someone to close her eyes for, someone to close her heart, someone who will die for you and more, but that ain't me, babe. No, 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 that ain't me, babe. That ain't me you're looking for, babe. Everything inside is made of stone. There's nothing in here moving, and anyway, I'm not alone. You say you're looking for someone who'll pick you up each time you fall. To gather flowers constantly, and to come each time you call. I'll love her for your life and nothing more, but that ain't me, babe. No, 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 that ain't me, babe. That ain't me you're looking for, babe. That ain't me you're looking for.
The next song is an original called Wherever You Go.
called House Song by Cyrus. I hope you enjoy it.
It's swimmer for everyone. Also, they have like a bunker that has yeah, that's the best. Like mental store that's 60 guys. That's comparison. Last is sick now.
From your place on the second floor, sounded out to an empty house. Was it just like you had before? Say if you're pulled from an open mouth, did you wanna be something more? Now you're taller than you've ever been. There's a mark on the wall, you see. I'm sure that someone will drop a new one and cover it before they leave. Mark my words, there's 1,000 things that don't wash out with anything. I keep you clean, you surrounded me. All my windows are breaking. Something is rotten inside of me. I have to find it, cut it out, cut it out.
What's up, being over Benny? He lives down there? This place is sick. Like that could be a reflex and still have somebody from college. This roommate, we had 4 years of college. What all are they? Kia. What is it? Kia and Ontario. Okay, so Ontario is Ontario one, yeah. I don't know what it is. West Village Big. What is it? Right over there, we had some grave. It's West Village Bid. I don't know what it is. I saw that earlier.
Thank you.
I don't know where it is.
Thank you, Paloma. That was beautiful. This was Paloma Tol, who is emblematic of what this festival is all about. She is attending LaGuardia High School of the Arts and from Colombia, Australia, and New York, and that is the point. The Sant Jordi Festival of Books and Roses, we started organizing them in 2014 with the Catalan Institute of America. I am Marianne Newman. I'm the director of the festival. and the executive director of the Farragut Fund for Catalan Culture in the United States. Our partner here, and for the past 11 years, has been the Catalan Institute of America, who are the organization in charge of bringing Catalan culture to the community. The people who speak Catalan will know it's the Casal Català de Madrid. And our third partner, well, I'll tell you all about the development. In 2014, the Catalan Institute has existed in various incarnations since for over 100 years. It's a centenary organization. And it has always done Sant Jordis of one kind or another. Xavier Cugat was one of the members of the first of the early years of Catalan Institute, which was then called the Catalan Nationalist Center. We can't call it that nowadays. But in 2014, we decided we wanted to bring this beautiful Catalan the most beautiful book festival in the world, to a larger audience, go beyond the Catalan community. And so we started devoting the festival to literatures in translation. Our first festival in 2014 was a lit crawl, a ruta literaria through Dumbo. We went to 4 bookstores and we read literature from Poland, Czechia, Mozambique, Argentina, and the grand finale was Catalan. That was 2014. In 2017, Laia Cabrera and Co. came on board as our third partner, and they did their first video mapping. This is by way of telling you, make sure you stay around the village so that you can see the video mapping between 8 and 10 on Mulberry Square, which is the corner of Greenwich and on Greenwich and 7th Avenue, right across the street from the Village Vanguard. So anyway, Laia and Isabel came on board in 2017. We were growing, and then in 2020, COVID struck. But because these are amazing multimedia artists are very quick on the uptake, we were able to convert an in-person festival into an online festival. And that way we discovered our international audience. The first year we had 7,000 viewers, and last year we had 85,000. But we missed the human contact, so in 2023 we went to Jersey City, to the Jersey City Theater Center, and in 2024 we went to the Out of the Box Theater on Christopher Street, which led us to our latest partner, the West Village Business Improvement District. And I approached them, I approached the executive directors, Zach Owens, and I said, what would you think about doing a Sant Jordi festival? And he said, I had been thinking about doing a literary festival. So this festival, Christopher Street, is honoring the spirit of the West Village and the spirit of international literatures. The West Village, of course, we are on Christopher Street, the birthplace of the gay revolution, and we are accompanied by the Bureau, the Bureau of General Services Queer Division, which is the bookstore at the center on 13th Street. And our second reader will be Sarah Prager, who will read from her book, Her on Pride. I also suggest, if you're interested in Catalan literature, that you might want to look at this book, this extraordinary book by Paul Guast called Napalm in the Heart. So visit I'm not sure what number the table is, but please visit the bookstore. Everybody else, we are joined today by the Gremi de Pastisers de Barcelona, the Barcelona Pastry Guild, Pastry Makers Guild. They have a Sant Jordi pastry in the form of a book. One of our sponsors is a Netto broth. So go and get yourself a box of really good broth. There's Allemagne Honey are also with us. And we have bookstore publishers. Our most important partners are the publishers and the booksellers, because Sant Jordi is actually a booksellers festival. in Barcelona, on Sant Jordi Day, which is actually April 23rd and not May 17th, they sell 10% of all the books they sell throughout the year in Barcelona. So we hope that you will look at the books, buy a book. If you buy a book, you get a rose. You'll see the table where they're setting up the roses with the little Catalan flag ribbon and a sprig of wheat. So it's a lovely exchange and true to the spirit of Sant Jordi. We are also true to the spirit of literary history of the West Village. So, as you know, this is the heart of North American literature. And what we're doing is bringing to the surface the literary traditions in the West Village that are not so well known. So we are really thrilled to present. We later in the afternoon, Ross Perlin will be speaking about Language City, telling us why New York is the most linguistically diverse city in the world. Over 800 languages are spoken here, and his project is saving them. And that is behind much of what we do. In these days in which cultural diversity is being attacked, everybody in this festival represents cultural diversity just by virtue of being here. The publishers are all publishing books from around the world. The pastry chefs, we have a wonderful Japanese pastry specialty that you should go in and check out. And take a picture at the picture booth. And please think about buying a tote bag.
You all look fabulous.
Or contributing to the Sant Jordi Book Festival through the Farragut Fund. Everybody here, almost everybody here, if they are receiving funding from the U.S. government, they are losing it. So buy the books from the booksellers because they are not going to be getting any support from the government anymore. And just have a wonderful time. It's a beautiful. We're trying to reproduce the most beautiful book festival in the world, and I think this is a pretty good beginning. So buy a book, get a rose, and thank you Paloma Toll for starting us off. That was a very beautiful song. I don't know, I loved her own compositions, but I was particularly touched by her version of Bob Dylan so much. Now, it is my pleasure to introduce Stine A, who is... Her book, her translation will be coming out in July. It's called Today's Morning Vocabulary, and I'm going to stop talking so that you...
Hi everyone, give it up for Marianne and the Sant Jordi team. My name is Stine. I'm a poet and translator. I translate from Korean, and my debut translation will be coming out this summer in July with Zephyr Press. And the poet I'm translating, he has not been translated into English yet, so I'm really excited to introduce him. His name is heekyung. He is an acclaimed South Korean poet, playwright, and essayist. He is the author of more than 10 collections of poetry and prose, including photography and poetry, and Winter Night Rabbit Worries. He studied creative writing with Kim Hae-soon at Seoul Institute of the Arts and playwriting at the Korean National University of Arts. He's a recipient of today's Young Artist Award from the South Korean Ministry of Culture and the Hyundai Munak Literary Award. He lives in Seoul, where he runs the poetry bookshop and project space Wit and Cynical. I'm really excited to be a part of this festival because the poet I translate, he runs a poetry bookshop in Seoul, and one thing he does each year is that he will host a peony week where people can bring a single peony and exchange it for a poetry book. And so I'm going to start off by reading a poem from his collection about peonies. First, I'll read it in Korean, and then I will read my English translation. 심었다던 작약. 네가 심었다던 작약이 밤을 타고 궁실거리며 피어나 그게 언제 피는 꽃인지도 모르면서 이제 여름이라 생각하고 내게 마당이 있는지 없는지도 모르면서 그게 아니면 화분에다 심었는지 그 화분이 어떻게 화염빛을 떨어뜨리는지 아는 것도 없으면서 네가 심었다던 작약이 어둠을 끌고 와 발 아래서 머리 쪽으로 다시 코로 숨으로 번지며 입에서 피어나고 붉은 것들은 왜 그리 환한지 그게 아니면 지금을 어떻게 설명해야 하는지 가르쳐 주지도 않으면서 봄은 이렇게 지나고 다시 여름이구나. 몸을 벽에 붙여보는 것이다. 그러니 작약이라니 나는 그게 어떻게 생긴 꽃인지도 모르고 나도 아니고 너는 더구나 아닌 그 식물의 이름이 둥그렇게 떠올라 나는 내가 심었다던 그것이 몹시 궁금하고 또 그런 작약이 마냥 지겨운 건 무슨 까닭인지 심고 두 손을 소리내어 털었을 네가 그 꽃이 심었다던 작약이 징그럽게 피어. Peonies. The peonies you said you'd planted climb night and writhe into bloom, not knowing when these flowers are supposed to bloom, believing it is now summer, not knowing if you have a garden, and if not that, not knowing if you planted the peonies in a flower pot, or how the flower pot glimmers brightly, not knowing anything. The peonies you planted arrive, dragging the dark from under my feet and up to my head, and again spreading into my nose and inside my breath, blooming from my mouth. Why are such round things so bright? And if not that, how do I explain this moment never having been taught how? Spring passes like this, and it is summer again. I try sticking my body against the wall. And so, to call them peonies, I don't even know what those flowers look like. They are not me, and even more so, they are not you. The plant's name bobs in my mind like a ball. I'm so very curious about the thing you said you'd planted, and I wonder why I am so sick of such peonies. You who would have brushed off your hands loudly after planting them, those flowers, the peonies you said you'd planted, bloom and creep. In dreams, the sleeping things took to the streets. The long sleeves folded back their sleeves. The window pane remained fogged with breath. The burning field refused to go out. The wind kept rising up, and the footsteps were still wandering. Only the heart bore a single sigh, and someone cried through the whole night. I held my being softly. I beheld my cradled self. A bright light glowed, the rest remained in darkness. And so my howl-like self became an empty bell. And the next translation I will read is, so in South Korea, it's common for poets and writers to debut through these spring literary contests sponsored by newspapers. And so poet Yu, he debuted through this poem called When I Put My Neck Inside a T-Shirt, I think. I believe in 2008 in the Joseonilbo Spring Literary Contest. When I put my neck inside a T-shirt, I think. 1. When I put my neck inside a T-shirt, I think, it's cramped in here and I don't know you. On the kitchen table, several bills are laid to rest. Mother scrubs her after image like a dish. I'm decorated onto one side of the wall. A morning that shrinks the leaves of sycamore veins, sharpened toward myself and in several pieces. Can I possibly call something like this threadbare? 2. When I put my neck inside a T-shirt, I think, while shaving, I cut the same cut from 2 days ago. However much I scrub, bristles sprout from my body. With age, bathroom tiles start resembling the color of humans. On the veranda, Sitting and smoking a cigarette, Uncle resembles a thick Korean dictionary, the thin pages quickly turning over. The back door is erased. You have no place to visit. 3. When I put my neck inside a t-shirt, I think, last night, thanks to dreaming of you, outside my heart a pouting signboard hangs. From the grind-worn floors, rusty nailheads hammer. I bury you along with a set of chopsticks and spoon, tap, tap, tapping on a lukewarm tune. The heels of dust, they rustle. And I'll read 2 more translations. Boy Ivan. To Ivan, who woke up early this morning, the kitchen was like a windless bamboo forest. Silent. Father, the face he left behind when picked up, was cold as a dropped razor blade. The day was waning. Ivan found an ear. Late at night, sitting on a secluded bench in the playground, he tilted the ear to the sound of his own crying, was endlessly listening. Every morning, Ivan's cry-dangling ears heard a sound from the back of his younger sister headed to work, a sound as if something sparkly was sparkling. Ivan shaved his face. Mother became a spacious grove of silver grass. Ivan became a swamp beneath her feet. Except for this, there is no way to describe Mother's restless rustling. The more time passed, dull, ordinary crying clung to the ear through unknowable effort. Accordingly, Ivan holds for his own ear the boundless pride. Father inside my coat. It is only after I lose my wallet that I find Father inside my coat. He is holding a long and slender cigarette between his teeth. Dear Father inside my coat, like wet feet, how do you make sense of this strangeness? I put my hands in my empty coat pockets and look back at Father. Birds fly up from the shadows. I am certain I saw them, faint traces. Father inside my coat is still cold and I am at a loss. Father? Yes? Are you happy? Why would I be happy? Then why did you do it? That's a question I should be asking. I raised my head in the direction that was disappearing. Leaves swayed between the streetlights and the trees on the avenue, but it seemed we must continue arguing, even inside the same coat. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon. My name is Sarah Prager. I use she, her pronouns, and I'm so happy to be here today. Gracias a todos que organizaron este festival tan bonito para celebrar el espíritu catalán. Gracias por esta oportunidad. I am an author of 4 books about LGBTQ+ history, which are facing censorship and bans. The LGBTQ+ history of this very area, right here on this street, is under attack for the truth being erased. The history of this area cannot be separated from trans history and queer history, and we honor that today by remembering the trans history of this area. Next month, we will celebrate Pride Month in June, and it is held in June to celebrate the anniversary of the Stonewall Uprising of June 1969. And the Stonewall Inn is right here, and that momentous moment reverberates around the world. In Germany, they even call Pride Christopher Street Day. So I'm going to read one chapter from my book, Queer There and Everywhere, which is a collection of short biographies of people from LGBTQIA+ history. And I'll be reading Eleanor Roosevelt's story. Eleanor Roosevelt, thank you, 1884 to 1962. The inauguration might as well have been Eleanor's sentencing. She sat numbly behind her husband as he droned on, captivating all 100,000 people in the audience, everyone except her. Out of boredom, she focused her attention on the sapphire and diamond ring on her left hand. It had been a gift from Hick, a reminder that someone loved her, even if that someone wasn't her husband. Hick. Eleanor wished it was yesterday evening again, when she and Hick were together in Eleanor's bedroom, reading over a draft of Franklin's inaugural speech. Now that Eleanor was First Lady, it would be much harder to find the time and privacy to be together. But maybe if they could figure out a way to steal more nights like last night, the loneliness would be easier to bear. The only thing we have to fear is, Franklin intoned from behind that giant podium, fear itself. Eleanor sure knew something about overcoming fear. After all, it was the 1930s, and her beloved Hick was a woman. Everything changed 15 years before the inauguration when Eleanor found the letters. They were from Lucy Mercer, Eleanor's secretary, and they were addressed to Franklin. What the letters revealed was a less than professional relationship between Lucy and Franklin, a relationship that had apparently been going on for 2 years. With her typical stoicism, Eleanor offered her husband an out, divorce. But at a time when only 1% of marriages ended, their elite families and political advisors reminded them that splitting up would mean Franklin getting fired from his high-up job in the Navy, as well as an end to his political career. His mother threatened to cut him off financially if he left Eleanor for Lucy, not to mention that there were their 5 kids to think about. So Franklin promised he'd never see Lucy again, which turned out to just be one of many promises he wouldn't keep. Even though Eleanor stayed in the marriage, the sexual part of their relationship was closed for business. Eleanor thought of sex as, quote, an ordeal to be born. She didn't feel particularly maternal or feminine, and decided she no longer needed to play the role of a typical wife. It was as if she'd been living on autopilot since the moment her Uncle Ted, U.S. President at the time, Theodore Roosevelt, had walked her down the aisle to marry her distant cousin, Franklin, when she was 20. Discovering the affair with Lucy finally snapped Eleanor awake. She felt free from her obligations to Franklin and his political aspirations, and she was determined to pursue her own interests. At the time, Eleanor and Franklin were living in New York City, so Greenwich Village became Eleanor's refuge. The neighborhood was a hotbed for the bohemian lifestyle in the 1920s, and soon became the go-to hangout for Eleanor and her new adopted family, political feminist lesbians. She didn't set out with the intention of making friends with a bunch of lesbians specifically, but those were the people who shared Eleanor's political beliefs, and she went with it. And it just so happened that all those queer women helped lead Eleanor down a path of self-discovery. 2 couples, Elizabeth and Esther, and Nan and Marion, each happily accepted Eleanor as a permanent third wheel. She joined these politically active ladies in organizing other women who had recently won the right to vote. Eleanor, Nan, and Marion eventually moved in together upstate, not far from the Roosevelt family home, in a little cottage Franklin called the Love Nest. The 3 were essentially life partners. Nan carved their initials, E-N-M, into the cottage's furniture, and Eleanor embroidered the same letters into the linens. The women never revealed if Eleanor was romantically or sexually involved with the couple. All anyone knows for sure is that the friendship was more intense than typical. Eleanor was already in her late 40s by the time Franklin's campaign for the presidency began in earnest. She was justifiably afraid that a win for her husband could mean a loss for her, the end of her feminist activism, and any semblance of a private life. Even campaigning on Franklin's behalf instead of staying home to crochet had gotten her criticized for stepping out of a woman's place and into the political sphere. Then Lorena Hickok came into Eleanor's life. Nicknamed Hick, Lorena was an up-and-coming Associated Press journalist assigned to cover the would-be First Lady during FDR's presidential campaign. Cigar-smoking, work boots-wearing, poker-playing Lorena had only ever dated women. The two ladies hit it off, bonding over late-night talks, and Lorena's priority quickly became Eleanor as a person instead of a journalistic subject. Unbeknownst to the public, she got her own room to sleep in at the White House for whenever she was in town, right next to Eleanor's. When the two women were apart, they wrote each other letters every single day, and Eleanor often signed her letters, Je t'aime et je t'adore. Years later, after Eleanor's death, Lorena burned hundreds of the saved notes because, as she told Eleanor's daughter, Anna, your mother wasn't always discreet in her letters to me. The surviving 16,000 pages of correspondence between them were released in 1978, 10 years after Hick's death, as she requested. March 9th, 1933, ER to H. My pictures are nearly all up, and I have you in my sitting room where I can look at you most of my waking hours. I can't kiss you, so I kiss your picture good night and good morning. January 22nd, 1934, H to ER. Dearest, it was a lovely weekend. I shall have to think about it for a long, long time. Each time we have together that way brings us closer, doesn't it? January 27th, 1934, ER to H. Gee, what I wouldn't give to talk to you and hear you now, oh dear one. It is all the little things, tones in your voice, the feel of your hair, gestures. These are the things I think about and long for. April 19th, 1934, H to ER. Oh damn it, I wish I could be there when you feel as you did Sunday night and take you in my arms and hold you close. Well, I'll try to make you happy every minute while I'm there in May. May 2nd, 1935, ER to H. I know I've got to stick. I know I'll never make an open break and never tell FDR how I feel. I'm gonna stop there in the interest of time. Thank you. I will be signing all 4 of my books on LGBTQ plus history at the table, the second one in this direction, at the Queer Independent Bookstore of New York City, the Bureau of General Services Queer Division, which is located in the center on 13th Street. I'm happy to personalize any signings and chat LGBTQ plus history. Thank you so much.
Hello and happy St. Jordi Day.
You're here. Good afternoon.
Yes.
Good afternoon. How do you like us so far?
Yes. We are Peter Carlaftes and I am Kat Georges from Zephyr Press. We're based right here in the West Village on Bleecker Street, and we produce books that are really great, including an annual DADA journal. It's a journal of contemporary Dada writing and art.
We got to be ready. You sure?
All right. Yes.
How come mine is so much louder over here?
I don't know. Well,
Not
let's turn
fair.
up this mic. Ready?
Okay, wait.
Here's
Our theme. We are plutocracy.
Yeah.
And we're going to read the intro, and then Kat's going to do some things and bring up Andrei Codrescu, who's here, and then hopefully Jane LeCroy, I'll bring her up. So go ahead.
The economy no longer serves human society. It's a business.
So it's time to give business the business.
In MAINTENANT 18, we redistribute our wealth of new ideas.
We aim to shape public opinion with a plutocracy of our own manufacture.
Creativity is our currency, and the mountain has no limit.
We separate merch and state and shine a light through every crack for we the people.
Hey, there are 2,640 billionaires in the world, and we've got each of them
Right where we want them.
All right. So, I'm going to go ahead and grab this here big mic. So what a gorgeous day it ended up being. I'm just going to read a couple of pieces from the book. We have people from all over the world, but I thought I'd read this one. This is by Bob Holman. Bob Holman founded the Bowery Poetry Club. He's a famous New York poet, and he's worked a lot with language. So this is called Giving Business to Business. It's a gift economy. Giving business to business. It's a razzmatazz, giving business to business. So remember the credo, play with the Play-Doh, Holy Toledo, torpedo, tornado. Say bienvenido to Spaghetti Alfredo, a quick pickpocket veto for your alter ego. All the money you spent, buy a co-op, still pay the rent. So here's what I know. Throw a savant, gum up the works, jerk off the jerks, invent sabotage, refuse to triage, frisk, risk, arbitrage, raise your family in a garage. All business is garbage. You forgot to camouflage your entourage. It's all a brain massage mirage. It's a gift economy, giving the business to business. It's a razzmatazz, giving business to business. As you can see, each book has a lot of art as well as writing. All copies today are $10 down at our booth, which is on the way to the Kettle of Fish. Ha! Hey, I have my poem here that I'll read. This is called Gravity Pull Down. The best thing about outer space is zero gravity. That's the real reason the billionaires are racing each other to get to Mars. Imagine weekly trips to uplift your jowls and your tits, reformat your sagging butt, smooth out your belly fat. Imagine sex at zero gravity, the impossible positions able to be achieved without years of yoga and Pilates. Imagine counting money at zero gravity and all those $100 bills flying through the air, each one grabbed by one of the richest men on earth just before it floats away as they repeat the mantra, mine, mine, mine. And since this performance is officially called DADA versus DOGE, I thought I'd read one more piece, which is mentions a certain fellow that's involved with DOGE. This is called Pushing Buttons in Silicon Valley. I was trying to get the elevator to move, but I wasn't having much luck. I was hoping to meet Elon Musk and find out more about his warning that killer robots are more dangerous than Kim Jong-un. It finally kicks into gear and rumbles unsteadily up to the 13th floor, where I discover a diorama of speeding Tesla sedans. A little boy is standing in front of it, staring, his mouth open. A guard comes around the corner and tries to shoo him away, but I plead with him to stop because I can clearly see the look of terror that's now etched on the young boy's face. Okay, and it gives me great pleasure right now to introduce one of our contributors to MAINTENANT Dada Journal, Andrei Codrescu. Give him hell, Andrei. There's stairs in the back. Keep it up, and happy Sant Jordi Day. There's the stairs. Right. It's a beautiful day in the neighborhood. A beautiful day in the neighborhood. There's Andrei.
Dada is wonderful in the magazine. I was in the south of France during the pandemic, and I met a very, very sad German tour guide who didn't have any tourists to show the place to. We looked for Emma Goldman's cottage. Emma Goldman, after she was thrown out of Russia by Lenin, when she tried to come to America and we didn't let her in. We went to England and the ports were closed, and so Peggy Guggenheim got her a little shack in the south of France, which was really the south of France we don't now. But she wrote her autobiography there. And a peaceful place, except for when Peggy came in the middle of the night and with her coaxed and drunk friends. We went there, and it was a place with a beautiful villa with an armed guard and dogs, and we were sent away. And speaking of mosque, this is a theme that follow Kat. It's a poem. It's from my new book, which is called How to Live Under Fascism. I didn't know that this was a Catalan festival, but certainly Catalonia gave fascists a hard time. So it's a good place to be. So this is called Dante ha lasciato fuori un moderno. There is a red-hot iron chair in the lake of fire. In the heart and idea thieves a section of Dante's hell, reserved for Elon Musk in punishment for the veil of linguistic rubber and gauze he laid in automobile form over the memory of the great Nikola Tesla, the Serbian genius who immigrated to America to enact the splendors of electricity and other world-changing flights of divine insight whispered to him by angels soon flagged by the FBI. What's in the name, you say? Everything. I will now reveal what the ghost of Tesla whispered in my ear. All these one-syllable men are bad aliens sent to Earth to harvest us, especially Trump, Bush, and Musk. They were so named to be easy to remember. These bad aliens, unlike the beneficent spirits who spoke to me, are here to replace our languages with one-syllable grunts and then just numbers. Since then, I turn over the name of every shiny new thing to see what human greatness it is bearing. Among them, most grievous of them all, the great Tesla, overlaid into oblivion by the monster car. Inspired by the brilliant Miriam, who in her turn was awed by the real Tesla, we will lift that vile motor of our genius and raise Musk himself into the red-hot iron chair in the lake of fire, where roasted for his own essence. And I'm going to end with a poem about how I really feel. It's called Note. Laughing at yourself means that somebody paid attention to you before you were 5. This is the cutoff age for understanding adult sincerity. You were fortunate enough if they laughed sincerely at your goofiness and you laughed with them. The ability to see your own goofiness is the gift of adult sincerity. After that, they give you nothing but grief.
Hello, everybody. I'm back. Peter Carlaftes is back. We have the MAINTENANT Journal, and I think I'm only... We need Kat to be plutocracy. But I'm going to read a piece that's going to be in the new version, number 19, that has a theme of ethics cleansing, which we've certainly been cleansed of our ethics. If we had anybody left with any ethics, there wouldn't be any ethnic cleansing needed. That is not the case. So I'm going to read this piece that's going to be in the new book, and then I've got another one here, and I don't know if Jane LeCroy will make it, but if not, that will be it. So here comes the piece. Let's make an art of the deal or no deal. Only a fool would not accept a luxury gift like this from Qatar, says the former and current U.S. press. And while the time might seem interminable, One day the orange debris will be cold in the ground. But for right here and now, he sits proudly in his seat with co-felon Ellen the Musk right there by his side. DJT, the Qataris are idiots for giving me such a plane. ETM wants to say it's a jet, but thinks better. Cut to the Qataris, Saudis. Note, number 1 supports Hamas, number 2 helped to fund 9/11. QS1. So you're sure the remote pilot system will control the direction of the plane? QS2. It's a jet. And yes, we can fly the jet to any location we decide to target. Cut to the Department of Homeland Security. KN. So you really think there is no security breach if we give the go-ahead to the president to take off? JDV. Absolutely, since this is what the president wants. I see no problem whatsoever with him accepting their gift. Back to the plane, jet. DJT, I'm glad they were able to put toilets in the seats. ETM, you can say that again. DJT says it again. Back to the Qataris, Saudis. QS1, so exactly where do you think would be the most effective target? QS2, I was leaning toward the Freedom Tower or the Pentagon, but the more I thought about it, Tel Aviv would be the most beneficial. Back to the jet. DJT, I just want another plane to keep for myself. ETM, just keep this one. What could go wrong? Give him the jet. What do you think these people are going to do? You know, he's going to be sent somewhere. Let him go, please. Put him on the jet. Make him happy. All right. I'm going to read this piece in here. Again, our new theme is ethics cleansing, and it's more about humanity. It's always been about belongings, especially us here now, not belonging. So at least here for a second, we can belong together, sitting here, and it's not about our belongings. So that's what we're pushing here with our books, trying to open up the minds. The Dadaists were, you know, just turned off to all art after seeing 40,000 corpses a day pile up in the trenches of World War I. So we don't have that, but we've got a lot worse. The way you know, the corpses of our minds are piling up all around. Why would one person vote for Donald Trump? Why? Where did this one vote come from? Let alone any vote. So we need to figure out something. We got to stand together to keep it from getting any worse. I'm going to read this piece by Uche Nduka, and then I will turn the stage back over to the next person. Rift alert. With the hurricane moving towards you, a bank explodes while you go on licking capitalism's knife. Think you're tired of seeing the face of the great gambler, lavender harvester beside a park bench, punching tickets? Vegan meatballs hang on the branch of an oak cappuccino drinkers fold promissory notes. So much is known of fraud and money and souls misspent. Tabletop vertical figures of real creepiness. Between calamities, form needs the formless. The city knocks loudly on doors. These are the consequences when real estate becomes fake estate. Civic malice in a fast deal. Life here must explode long enough before a download. A foothold doesn't get much smaller than this. The whole barrel is rotten. All right, thank you. Free Rooms Press, Peter Carlaftes, and thanks.
Hello, everybody. Jill Schoolman, Archipelago Books. We have a table today, Georgetown, with international literature. And even before I started Archipelago, about 21 years ago, I read Elias Khoury's book, Babel Shams in French. So this needs to be in English. Elias Khoury is a Lebanese writer who died a few months ago, and it's a huge loss especially now when we need his spirit and words and wisdom more than ever in this crazy world. He's just really a rare soul. He really loved the students that he taught. Had time for everybody. He made the matters of the world he took personally. He really cared about people, and was very not an us and them person. I remember he said at NYU he wanted to learn Hebrew, so he sat in and just audited a class at NYU to learn Hebrew. His main language is Arabic. I think he learned Aramaic as well. Anyhow, he was really always reverent, always laughing at the situations, the horrific situations of the world. And it was really, I don't know, he will be missed. His books are still here. We've published 6 of his books, and I'm going to read a few pages. His very first novel, which is actually more experimental than his other work. He's inspired by so many people, but I think he's deeply inspired by Arabic poetry, classical Arabic poetry, and by 1,001 Nights. And anyway, he's a great reader from all over. He loved Cortázar. He's always reading and always handing books to people. And I really miss him. He's good friends. And anyhow, Marianne Newman tells me that you should all buy books and get a rose. So that's something you should all know, that you can get a free rose. And anyhow, this is Elias Khoury, translated by Yasmin Hanoush, wonderful translator. This is just his very first novel, a few pages from. It's called On the Relations of the Circle. I search for him amid the wreckage of words and cities, longing to meet his gaze, to witness the blood welling in his eyes. I travel vast distances, stopping only when I encounter others, and I ask about them, and hear his shrug, their voices detached, indifferent. Never heard the name before. I make my way to the beach, counting each step. On the other side of the city, he walks toward the shore, counting his steps as he searches for me. I know he's looking for me, so I never stop moving toward him, not even for a moment. I cherish the memory when we finally meet. It is by pure chance, an absurd, contemptible coincidence that shatters all my mental preparation. I'd imagined I would leap into the air, screaming his name. Then I gaze into his eyes. He gazes into mine. I offer my hand. He offers his. I ask him what he's doing. He stares out at the sea, silent, and then points at the waves. I'm looking for a fish, he says. I like to drink Iraq. We walk together in silence, as still and unyielding as the asphalt beneath our feet. You know I'm in deep trouble, right? I'm trapped in this filthy, wretched circle. I don't understand. He grasps my hand and leading me forward, and then stops in the middle of the dirt road, buildings pressing in from all directions. Suddenly he screams, "Why did you come here? Leave me alone. I want to die alone. Take your things and go." He must not have recognized me. That explains his cold perception, his hallucinations about the beach and the fish. We met in the circle, surrounded by buildings, no sea in sight. I don't understand why he spoke to me that way. I sit down on the dirt, take out a cigarette and light it. He steps closer. What do you want? You don't recognize me. You've forgotten the forest, the cities. I didn't forget, but I'm looking for my mother. I stand beside him. He looks into my eyes and screams, "Bastards who wrote this story! You think they're writing it? Want to drag me back to the orphanage? Look what they've done." I ran away from that place, ended up in hospitals and prisons. And when I finally stepped out to reclaim my story, I found myself here, this filthy dirt road, surrounded by orphanages on all sides. How? With fools. Do they think I'm a child, standing in front of some nun so she can tell me stories of the dead and the carpet of mercy? Look at my nails. I glance down. My cracked nails are bleeding, baked in mud and water. There must be a mistake in our story, I say. We can rewrite it. Let's erase some details. Reinvent others. We can place ourselves in front of the sea. He stares at looming buildings, their gray windows jutting out like mountains that surround us from every direction. It's a vile solution, a vile solutions. He stands beside me, bends down until his head touches the dirt, twisting into a shape that seems to revolve around itself. He makes handfuls of content on his own back. I remain at his side, straining to keep my senses from slipping away. Where's my mother? But My mother is dying alone. Listen, we don't have a mother. I penetrate the dirt, look into her eyes. A seductive woman spreads across my palm. I feel hopeless. Do you think we should go in? I'd say we go in. Then let's try to do something. I've gone in before. I didn't do anything. You can go alone if you want. I lowered my head. How could I go in alone? No, we go in together. I'm afraid to go in alone. I have no choice. We stay here. We'll have no water, no food. You want to die of thirst and hunger? Let's go in, then escape again. You go. He lies down on his back. I lie beside him. How do I stop dying? Windows loom in all directions. We heap dirt into piles and hurl it onto the roads. But there are no roads. The voices came, shutting down their senses. You're a loser, an idealist, an asshole. Do you really think I'm crazy enough to go in? I want water and a gun. I won't go back, shackled like a corpse to a donkey. There are no solutions. He gets up, gathers my sheets of paper, tears them to shreds. Then he takes my pen and snaps it in two. We won't plant it, just throw it away. Let's go. Where? We won't go back in. We have to find the forests. He walks ahead of me, and I follow. High windows loom around us in every direction. Thank you so much.
Our woman, who's a shaman from Arizona, and Kojiju, who is a Japanese mystic. So what I'll be doing is I'm going to be reading the original poetry to you, and then you're going to hear the adaptation inside the music. So I'm going to start with a poem by Rumi, and this piece is called Inside. The minute I heard my first love story, I started looking for you, not knowing how blind that was. Lovers don't finally meet somewhere. They're in each other all along. Heard my first love song, I started to search for you. I never knew how blind that was. You're with me now, I see. We always have been inside each other, so no need to find. When I heard my first love song, I looked around for you. I never knew how blind that was. You've always been inside of me. Inside each other, so no need to find. Lovers never finally meet each other. They are in each other all along. We'll be searching. You have always been in me. Inside each other, so no need to find. My first song, I started to search for you. I never knew how blind that was. You're with me now, I see. We always have been inside each other, so no need to find. When I heard my first love song, I looked around for you. I never knew how blind that was. You've always been inside me. Inside, so no need to find. Lovers never finally meet each other. They are in each other all along. We'll be searching. You have always been inside inside each other, so lonely. Long will be searching, you have always been in love. The long will be searching, you have always been in love. Long will be searching, you have always been inside of me, inside of me. Thank you. We're going to follow that song with a wonderful poem by Georges, who is a Japanese mystic. Merely to know the flawless moon dwells pure and clear inside the human heart is finding that the darkness of the night will vanish underneath the clearing skies. Merely to know the moon dwells pure inside the heart is finding that the dark night vanish under bright skies. Merely to know the flawless moon dwells pure and clear inside the human heart. Dwells pure inside is finding that the darkness of the night vanish underneath the bright sky. Merely to know the moon dwells pure inside the heart is finding that the darkness of the night vanish underneath the clearing skies. Merely to know the moon dwells pure inside the heart is finding that the dark night vanish under bright skies. Merely to know the flawless moon was pure inside human heart. Was finding that the darkness in the night vanish onto the bright skies, merely to know the world. 'Twas pure inside the heart. The darkness of the night, underneath the flaming sky. Thank you. It's a poem by Rumi. It's called Let Fire Burn Me. Oh beloved, take me. Liberate my soul. Fill me with your love and release me from the two worlds. If I set my heart on anything but you, let fire burn me from inside. Oh beloved, take away what I want. Take away what I do. Take away what I need. Take away everything that takes me from you. Cast away the things that keep me from you. Oh love, liberate me. Let fire burn me from inside. Fill me with your passion. Release me from our separate worlds. They are two. Cast away the things that keep me from you. If I fix my heart on anyone other than you, let me burn from that flame inside of me, burning me to cast away the things that keep me from you. Take from me all what I do and what I want to need. If I set my mind and heart on anyone but you. Let the fire inside burn in me to cast away the things that keep me from you. Cast away the things that keep me from you. If I fix my heart on anyone other than you, let me burn from that flame inside of me, burning me to cast away the things that keep me from you. Cast away the things that keep me from you. Take away the things that keep me from you. Right along. Okay. One of my favorite mystics is Owl Woman. She lived in Arizona in the 1800s, and she actually sang songs. So this is a song that's adapted from her song's lyrics. And her lyrics go like this. How shall I begin my song? In the blue night that set me. In the great night, my heart will go out. Towards me, the darkness comes rattling. In the great night, my heart will go out. Brown owls come here in the blue evening. They are hooting about, they are shaking their wings and hooting. Black butte is far. Below me, I had my dawn. I could see the daylight coming back for me. The morning star is up. I cross the mountains into the light of the sea. My song how to be in blue nights that are setting. my heart will go out to meet darkness comes running. In the gray night, my heart goes out. Brown owls come home. They are calling. They are dancing in the blue light of the dark night till the dawn comes for me. Hey ho, oh yeah, that beauty's far below me was the dawn. I could see the daylight. It was coming back for me. Morning star, I cross this mountain to the light of the sea. They call me to this place. Morning star is on. I cross these mountains to the light of the sea. They call me to this place. Thank you. We're going to end our set with a wonderful poem by Mahati Ganjabi. She was a Persian mystic who lived in the 13th century. And she wrote a beautiful poem called The Pathway. When my heart came to rule in the world of love, it was freed from both belief and disbelief. On this journey, I found the problem to be myself. When I went beyond myself, the pathway finally opened. the pathway finally opened. When my heart came outside to rule within the world of love, my life was unbound from truth and doubt. I find myself on this pathway, seeing that I was to blame and free from inside. The road turned wide on this single path. I discovered my true self, finding that the doubt was inside me all along. On this path I was to blame, found the problem to be me. When I went beyond myself, the road I finally could see. On this path I was to blame, found the problem to be me. When I went beyond myself, the road I finally could see. When I'm outside to rule within the world of love, my life was unbound from truth and doubt. I find myself on this pathway, seeing that I was to blame and free from inside. The road turned wide on a single path. I discovered my true self, finding that the doubt was inside me all along. On this path I was to blame, found the problem to be me. When I went beyond myself, the road I finally could see. On this path I was to blame, found the problem to be me. When I went beyond myself, the road I finally could see. Thank you. And Karen Heilman over here on the keyboards and percussion and voice. I'm Nana Simopoulos on guitar, sitar, and voice. And these are some of my original compositions from my album Skins, which I have some copies with me. And you can also find on various internet locations. Enjoy the rest of your festival. Thanks.
Even at a time when more and more languages of the world are being lost or have pressure on them, have pressure on the speakers to shift to larger languages, more and more of those languages are in New York. Cities like New York are unprecedented today in their level of linguistic diversity. The full story is in a recent book I wrote called Language City, The Fight to Preserve Endangered Mother Tongues in New York. Just take a moment to think about where we are and the languages that are all around us. This is a Lenape-speaking archipelago. Lenape is the language of this land itself, today an endangered language with one native speaker in Canada, but hundreds of younger Lenape people who are reviving the language as well and bringing the language back here. One of several hundred Native American languages which were spoken before European settlement. Lenape was probably different on every single island of this 40-plus island archipelago that we now call New York City. And it was part of a much larger chain of languages, the Algonquian languages, which stretched up and down the East Coast and throughout much of North America. The Dutch West India Company arrived about 400 years ago, 401 years ago. And what resulted was not a Dutch-speaking city, and it was not like the other colonies of British North America, Massachusetts, Virginia, pretty much English-only spaces. It was an entrepot of many languages, 18 different languages by one count, among the first 400 to 500 people who came here to this strange port in those early years, a commercial port, a place of religious tolerance while people were doing business. And those were languages of Africa, they were languages of the Americas, they were languages of Europe. The first permanent settlers to come from Europe were speakers of Walloon, a language of the French-Belgian border. The the languages of enslaved Africans from Angola, what's now Angola, Congo, languages like Kimbundu and Kikongo and Akan, Lenape, and other Native American languages. The city, at that point, had its template set as a uniquely multilingual space, and for the last 400 years, more and more languages have been coming with every passing decade. So today you have languages from every single continent that are here, languages with a handful of speakers, languages with massive numbers of speakers. You have poets and singers, storytellers working in dozens of different languages. And many of these languages have not been written, they're primarily oral languages, they haven't been documented before, they're not in any library. There are more languages in this city than there are on the internet, more or less. Only about 5% of the world's languages are really on the internet. And it's all around us. And this is what we try to do at the Endangered Language Alliance, but hopefully just sort of listen to the city that's all around you in all of its languages. Right here on these blocks, obviously there's many languages just, I think, among you guys, just on this block right here, but we're of course close to Little Spain, the historic Little Spain, which was in fact a place where Galician and Catalan and Basque and many other languages of the Iberian Peninsula were spoken. Italian communities that spoke not just or even not mainly standard Italian, but all the different village languages of different parts of Sicily, Naples, Calabria, the whole Italian peninsula, northern Italy as well to some extent. There's a Finnish church a few blocks from here. Lakota is being revived by a group not far from here. An activist for Kumeyaay, a native language of California, lived just a few blocks from here. And there are languages from every continent within a few square miles of here. So, yeah, listen to the city of languages. This may be an unprecedented moment that may not last, however. And I guess the question is, what will it take to keep this city of languages what it has been, to recognize it and to support it? Because most of the languages that are here are still completely invisible outside the communities that speak them. And they get little official support. They're not taught in any schools. They don't get any kind of government recognition. They're not captured by the census, which only records a fraction of the languages that are here. So just a word to say, listen to the languages, speak languages, learn languages, read languages, and thanks for coming out.
Hello, my name is Jennifer Xu. I'm a translator from Spanish. Yeah, it's really exciting to be here. I love this book, Language City, that Ross wrote. It's a really cool book. Today I'm going to share with you some poems from this book, A Blind Salmon, which is my translation from Spanish of a collection by the Tusan, or a Chinese-Peruvian writer, Julia Wong-Hom. Julia was an incredible person. She unfortunately passed of cancer last year in March. But yeah, it's really nice to still be able to exist alongside her, work with her words and be with them. Yeah, so this came out last year in July from Deep Vellum Press. Yeah, and it's really fun to be reading here alongside the dance parade, where a lot of Andean dance groups are also performing. It seems fitting given this book and Julia's roots in Peru. I'm just going to read a few poems from this book, and I'll read some of them in Spanish first, and then I'll read my translation. And I also will put out little signs afterward with QR codes if you want to order the book direct from the publisher. So I'll start with a poem that is in Spanish called Albufera de la calle Rodríguez Peña. Como un río, alguna parte de tu cadera es una quebrada en mi boca seca. Lamo un dulce de miel envasado, antiguo, repitiéndose tan siniestro. Vuelve a ser líquen, fluido, mar. Soy una flor técnica de las 7 de la mañana. Al bufete de siesta mientras como no me dividió. Las olas se marchan, revientan, vendedores de nardos, de autos, de gente fiesta, entre granos de sal adormecida, fuego de ciudad, en los baños lluvia escondida. El café promisorio, las gargantas fumando. Viviré un día más en Buenos Aires, lo prometo. And here's the poem in English. Lagoon on Calle Rodriguez Peña. Like a river, some part of your hip is a ravine in my dry mouth. I'm licking a piece of dense honey candy, ancient, repeating so sinisterly, turning back to lichen, fluid sea. I am a technical bloom at 7 in the morning, siesta lagoon. As I eat, I do not dilute. The waves retreat first, vendors of tuberoses, cars, right-handers among grains of drowsing salt, city fire in the backs, hidden rain. Promissory coffee, throats lighting up the smoke. I'll live another day in Buenos Aires, I promise. This next one's called Dark Jasmines, Fascination. The rain is a blind gendarme. It awakens and protects me, so faint. Life comes and goes like water, lasts a year, 10, 70, or 80. No, don't say it. Life is a phone call. Are you okay, Mama? Are you happy? Her wincing sagged when the water surrounding my brain became a paper doll. There are nights when the only thing saving them is the sweat and confinement. Love's shrieks are what my fasts hide. The conquered countries. I'm ripping apart, Mama. I didn't want you to hear. I chose a lot of rainy poems, thinking that it might be rainy today, and now they're not very appropriate for the weather, but here we are. Not that I want to summon the rain. I much prefer this to raininess. But this next one is called The Cultural Code of the Sand. Why talk of clean dreams when everything's been stained with broken houses? Bed with no feet, bed with no sons or daughters, lifeless bed. That pair of scenes still boils, senseless. Too many men in thistle skin to make one man of 1,000. Make silence and also the perfect word, which, like a key hard-pressed, says, it's here the air ends and the turtle begins his road. Just a hug, a big one, the proper one, even so. Age-old hypocrisy falls from the carapace. A plate of precise beams. I can no longer pretend to be the lovely daybreak when ugly sloughs from my ears. I'll just read two more. I'll read this one in Spanish first. Thank you. Gabriela duerme, marejada incólume. Gabriela grita, marejada en la ingle. Gabriela me pide que no tenga sexo con nadie. Sé mi manantial, mamá, reclaman sus ojos. La piscina eterna para esa cola de sirena en la ciudad grita. El torrente loco, mar hablando, palabras, palabras de pájaros, cometas, palabras. Gabriela es la última palabra del cuerpo. Gabriela sleeps. An impervious swell. Gabriela screams. Swell in the groin. Gabriela asked me not to have sex with anyone. Be my wellspring, Mama, her eyes insist. Eternal pool for that mermaid tale in the city, she screams. The mad torrent sees speaking words, words of kite birds. Gabriela is the body's last word. And then I'll just read one more. Actually meant to read that last poem last, because, last word, but anyway, here we are. Mother and daughter. I'm going to imagine another beauty with no gaps. I've asked her, is that what we're like? Like that mother and daughter who grow close, then apart, contemplate each other, keep each other happy, sad, comfort each other. We're a mirror for this modern time. The malls, the Barbies, the TV shows with their acid humor, blue, bitter, or symptoms yellow. We're part of that church where we pray without literally believing in those gods condemned to stillness. We're a morning incense spot on Avenida Corrientes, joys, coincidences, and a city that loves us one day and expels us the next. We're its dolls, its stuffed pony, the penguin at Jamaican Zoo, the kangaroo Pablo gave you. We're the books I can't publish, the ones I've given away, the ones still under the bed. We're the books that keep me up, the ones I'm afraid to read because I would recognize my 45 cardinal sins, my fears, my tangles, my inclinations, my lust. We're the wine sitting on the table untouched because I've heartburn. The yogurt drink you leave half finished. We're the memory of that trip to Tijuana, your grandfather's language that we want to learn together. How do you say sky in Chinese, Mama? And how do they make pyramids like the one in Quintana Roo? We are 6 in.morning, the ají plant fallen into the passageway, a duo that doesn't fit in anywhere, the eternal excuse of strolling and roaming through life, rejecting the strong, the madness of curiosity, or the memory of your grandmother, the secret phone calls, Mama, you'll live until we can come back and grow small at your side, walk slowly, turn into a lupao bean, a spoonful of cornstarch. We're prone to getting swept away by technology, to loving in excess, falling, getting hurt, remembering Germany, chocolate eggs in a Swabian garden. We hold steady in our hope, fickle in creation, prone to tears. We look for a spiritual lover who can solve our terrible riddles about solitude and rootlessness. We look for friends at school and yoga classes among tourists. We've misloved a photographer, a writer, a drug addict, a disproportionate drinker. We felt more love for a family member, free like a miracle, like foam we can't grasp. And we've broken models, and now we're inflamed with space and looking for wings to raise us, a hurricane to remind us of divine strength, a prayer from a loving Father in the distance. Thank you.
Hi, can you hear me? Yay, good. I'm Elizabeth Macklin. I'm the translator of the Basque poet Kirman Uribe, who is on his way. And I'll read, we were going to do the poems one by one, and but we might do them all three in each language first. But, this was a poem called That Tiny Playful God. That is the most beautiful poem I've ever seen that was written to a wife. And I thought. And I should say that his wife was 45 minutes late to their wedding. So he comes by it honestly. That tiny, playful God. I would like to be that God who drew the freckles on you, that tiny, playful God, painting little dots by the thousands on your skin. I like your freckles. I like counting them as if they were stars, and every day discovering a new star, in the way of an astronomer who finds a supernova in the hiddenmost place on your back or beneath your breasts. I take pleasure in wandering your skin with my own finger, following the invisible lines created among all the different planets, slower than slow, like the Exactus telescope. You say you don't like them. You'd rather not have any freckles at all on your smooth skin. But what would I do? I'd be a sailor, astray in the starless night. I remember I asked you to give me a freckle the day that we met, that one next to your eye. That small Ithaca was enough for me to build my house right there. And you, generous, told me every single one of them, all for you, if you can guess how many there are. I would like to be that God who drew the freckles on you, that tiny, playful God, and every night kiss your freckles, one by one, and with great care, with great care, so they stay on. This is Kirman Uribe.
Woo! So this is how it sounds in Basque. Jainko txiki eta jostalari ura. Orinak marraztu zizkizun jainko ura izan gura nuke. Jainko txiki eta jostalari ura, milaka puntutxo margotuz zure azalean. Atsegin ditut zure orinak. Atsegin dut kontatzea izarrak balira bezala eta izar berri bat aurkitzea egunero. Supernova bat kausitzen duen astronomoa legez, zure bizkarko toki ezkutu batean edo zure bularren azpian. Zure azalan eure atzamarrekin ibiltzea dut gustuko, jarraitzea planeta ezberdinen artean sortzen diren lerro ikusezinak. Astiro, teleskopio zehatz batek bezala. Zuk diozu, ez zaizkizula gustatzen, nahiago zenukela horinik ez izan, baina zer egingo nukenik orduan. Nora ezean dabilen itxasgizona nintzateke gau itxian. Gogoan dut, horin bat eskatu nizula, elkar ezautu ginen gauean. Begiaren alboan duzun hori, nahikoa nuen itaka txiki hori, nire etxea bertan eraikitzeko. Eta zuk eskuzabal esan zenida, dendenak izango dira zuretzat, guztira zen baditudan, asmatzen baduzu. Horinak marraztu zizkizun jainko ure izan gura nuke, jainko txiki eta jostalari ura, eta musu eman gauero zure horinei. Banan eta kontu handiz, desitxatx ez daitezen. The next one is about my father. My father was a fisherman, a Basque fisherman, who used to go to fish to Ireland, and northern Scotland. And once he lost his wedding ring. And that's the story about it.
The gold ring. Father lost his wedding ring in the ocean once. Like all the trawlermen, he'd take it from his finger to put on a neck chain, not to lose the finger as the net went out. Several tides after that, our aunt, while cleaning some hake, found a gold ring in the belly of one of the fish. Once she'd washed it off, she examined the letters and numbers engraved inside. Though it couldn't be true, the date and the initials were those of our parents' wedding. By all appearances, Father himself had caught the hake that had swallowed the ring in all of the wide blue sea. Peaceable summer nights bring the inland wind and the memories. I look at the sky and it dawns that coincidences are the planets with the amplest orbits. Only every so often have they come round. The rings is far too great a coincidence. It would have been lost and found in that same stone sink. But that doesn't matter. What's most important now is this. For years and years, the story of the ring was entirely believable to our small children's intelligence. Nights, the ocean has the shimmer of hake. The stars go leaping around like the scales.
Urrezko eraztuna. Aitak itxasuan galdu zuen ezkontzako eraztuna. Mariniel guztiek bezala kendu egiten zuen atzetik eta lepokoan jarri. Sarea largatzean atza galez ezan. Handi marea batzuetara izebak, legatz batzuk garbitzen ari zelarik, urrezko eraztun bat aurkitu zuen, arrainetako baten sabelea. Eraztuna garbitu eta grabatuta zituen letra eta zenbakiei jarri zien arreta izebak. Gezurra zirudien arren, gurasoen ezkontza eguna ematen zuten aditzera datak eta inizialek. Itxura guztien arabera, aitak berak harrapatu zuen eraztuna jan zion legatz ura, itxasorik handienean. Udako gau bareak barruko haizea dakar eta oroitzapenak, kasualitateak orbita zabaleko planetak direla otu zait zeruari begira. Behin edo behin ageri dira bakarrik. Eraztunarena kasualitate handiegia da badakit, baina ez du orain ajola. Importantena orain hause da, urte askoan, eraztunaren historia hori sinesgarri egin zitzaiela gure aur, adimen txikiei. Gauez, itxasoak legatz baten diztira du. Izarrek salto egiten dute ezkaten antzera. My aunt, Margarita, regards from her and from my mother. So my aunt Margarita is 90, and my mother is 87, and my aunt Margarita still says that the story of the ring is true. that she really found it in The Hague. So, the last one?
Yeah, this last one, they changed the date of this affair just for us. This is called May, and so we jumped into May from Sant Jordi. Visca Sant Jordi!
Visca Catalunya!
Visca!
Jura!
This has an epigraph from Rainer Fassbinder that goes, "Let me look at those eyes. I want to know how you are." May. Look, May has come in. It's strewn those blue eyes all over the harbor. Come, I haven't had word of you in ages. We're constantly terrified, like the kittens we drowned when we were little. Come and we'll talk over all of the old same things. The value of being pleasant, the need to adjust for the doubts, how to fill the holes we've got inside us. Come, feel the morning reaching your face. Whenever we're saddened, everything looks dark. When we're heartened, again, the world crumbles. Every one of us keeps forever someone else's hidden side. If it's a secret, if it's a mistake, if a gesture, come and we'll flay the winners, laughing at ourselves, leapt off of the bridgeway. We'll watch the cranes at work in the port in silence, the gift for being together in silence, being the principal proof of friendship. Come with me. I want to change nations, change towns, leave this body aside and go into a shell with you, with our smallness, like sea snails. Come, I'm waiting for you. We'll continue the story that ended a year ago, as if inside the white birches next to the river, not a single additional ring had grown.
Maiatza, badu Rainer Bernes Fassbinder zinegilearen zita bat, utzi begietzara begiratzen, nola zauden jakin nahi dut. Begira, sartu da maiatza, zabaldu du bere betazal urdina portuan. Erdun, aspaldien ez dut zure berri izan, ikarati zabiltza eta aitonak zorroan sartu zituen, katakumeak bezala. Erdu eta gingo dugu berba betiko kontu ez. Atsegin izatearen balioaz. Zalantzekin moldatu beharraz, barruan ditugun zuloak, barruko zuloak, nola bete. Erdu, sentitu goiza aurpegian, goibel gaudenean dene iristen zaigu ospel adoretsu gaudenean atzera, papurtu egiten da mundua. Deno gorbetzen dugu betiko besteren alde ezkutu bat, dela sekretua, dela akatsa, dela keinua. Erdu eta larrutuko ditugu irabazleak, zubitik salto egin eta geure buruaz barre. Isilik begiratuko diegu portuko garabiei, elkarrekin isilik egotea baita adiskidetasunaren frogarik handiena. Erdu nerikin, herriz aldatu nahi dut, nire gorputza albo batera utzi eta maskor batean zurekin batera sartu, gure txikitasunean mangolinoak bezala. Erdu, zure zainago, duela urtebete etendako istorioa jarraituko dugu. Ibai ondoko urkizuriek uztai bat gehiago, ez balute bezala. Erdu. Thank you, Marianne. Gracias. Thank you. Gracias. Gracias.
Eskerrik asko.
Mila esker.
Hello. Hola. Hola, bona tarda. Em dic Sílvia Alberto Párez. My name is Sílvia Alberto Párez. I am the KJCC for l'Espacio de Cultures en NYU. Avui per mi és un plaer ser aquí, formar part d'aquest Sant Jordi a Nova York, i jo llegiré en castellà. I'm gonna read in Spanish. I'm gonna read Lucía Asue Embomío, Tierra de la Luz. El plástico es peor que una lupa. Si fuera brilla el sol, dentro quema. El aire cargado pesa y al entrar por las fosas nasales abrasa las vías respiratorias. Esa es la razón por la cual los trabajadores de los invernadores hablan poco, debido a que temen escupir fuego en lugar de palabras. La sensación es comparable a la que provoca abrir el horno a más de 100 grados e inspirar con fuerza. Quienes trabajan allí saben perfectamente cómo suenan los cuerpos cuando se desploman por altas temperaturas. ¿Recuerdan a los fardos pesados que caen provocando ruidos sordos o al sonido de las alfombras cuando se sacuden en el balcón para quitarles el polvo? A fuerza de costumbre, muchos incluso son capaces de distinguir si se trata de un hombre o de una mujer, salvo si es un niño o es pequeño, y también los hay. No es raro que estos mientan con la edad. Necesitan el dinero y los dueños de los huertos, manos. Engolo lleva demasiado tiempo en Tierra de la Luz escuchando cómo se derrumban y se hacen pedazos personas que minutos antes estaban enteras. Todavía es junio y el calor aprieta de manera moderada, pero al llegar julio sucede tan a menudo que los jornaleros hacen música mientras se destruyen y mientras se desmayan. Pum, pam, pum, pum, pam, pum, pum, pam, pum. Se trata de la melodía de la esclavitud moderna, de los cuerpos agotados y deshidratados. Sin embargo, a pesar de tener la muerte cerca, el trabajo continúa debajo de los plásticos. La primera vez que Ngolo padeció un golpe de calor, sintió que se le escapaba la vida. La cabeza le dolía tanto que creyó que le iba a estallar. Las sienes le latían desbocadas y la piel de vino seca y cuarteada, igual que la de las lagartijas de Guinea Ecuatorial, esas de colores brillantes que parece que hacen flexiones con las patas delanteras. No sabía por qué, pero cuando recuperó la conciencia, lo hizo pensando justo en esos animales a los que solía observar cuando recorrían en vertical los muros de una casa amarillo yema en bata. Sus compañeros, absolutos desconocidos hasta ese momento, le contaron que mientras yacía en el suelo, trataron de bajarle la temperatura, poniéndole una tela mojada en la frente y dándole de beber agua a sorbos pequeños. Ella, por su parte, entre delirios y convulsiones, se despidió de sus seres queridos recitando de manera atropellada un montón de nombres. O quizá estaba saludando a su becón, los ancestros que la esperaban en el otro mundo. A Ngolo también le ha tocado asistir a más de una persona. En ese lugar maldito, resucitar a los muertos es más hábito que excepción. Y tras hacerlo, siempre se plantea si a lo que tienen realmente se le puede llamar vida. Más de una vez, cuando le ha tocado acceder a alguno de sus compañeros y temía que no despertaran, se ha acordado de un nicaragüense que llevaba muy poco tiempo en Tierra de la Luz y al que no consiguieron reanimar. El capataz decidió abandonarlo exangüe en la puerta de un centro de salud, a escondidas, como cuando se tira la basura a deshora, como un objeto, como una cosa. Dado que no tenía papeles, consideró que podría traerle problemas al jefe, de modo que prefirió dejarlo morir a que su superior pagara la multa derivada de emplear a alguien con una situación administrativa irregularizada por un sistema cruel. Casi nadie recuerda cómo se llamaba. Para la mayoría se ha quedado simplemente como el nicaragüense. Quizás privarlo de su nombre propio sirva para que el resto de los jornaleros les duela menos la pérdida de un compañero, de fatigas, y se les quite de la cabeza la idea de que cualquiera de ellos puede ser el siguiente. El plástico es peor que una lupa porque deforma la realidad y normaliza la explotación y la extenuación. No obstante, el paisaje que hay en el interior de los invernaderos puede ser bello, sobre todo hoy, que están recolectando fresas. Ahora ya no le impresiona tanto. Sin embargo, la primera vez que Ngolo fue a recogerlas, hace ya unos 5 años, le llamó la atención el olor intenso que había en el invernadero, como meter la nariz en un bote de mermelada. La dulzura y la elegancia de la fruta, y cada uno de los matices podían percibirse sin necesidad de darle un bocado. Fue entonces cuando se dio cuenta de que en la calle estaban sumidos en una anosmia generalizada, debido a que en Tierra de la Luz es una zona luminosa, pero estéril. Fuera del plástico hay un erial asfaltado. Los árboles son una rareza y los invernaderos una especie de oasis de producción ingente que han hecho de la provincia un lugar próspero, pero solo para unos pocos. Thank you very much. And now I'm gonna read un pequeño, a little poem from me. Somos almas, amigas, vecinas, compañeras. Somos primas, familia. Yo soy tu hermana, Sista. Yo soy tu hermana, bro. Somos hermanas. Somos las que nos levantamos cada mañana para darle de comer a nuestras hijas, las que trabajamos el doble para obtener un cuarto de la mitad. Somos las que barremos los restos del techo de cristal, las que cansadas de caminar con la cabeza gacha, de esquivar miradas, de callar por no incomodar, aprendimos la lengua del amo y reclamamos: devuélvannos el oro, devuélvannos el oro. Somos las que decimos nuestras vidas importan, importan, importan. No somos un hashtag, nuestras vidas importan. Las que queremos contar nuestra propia historia. Pedimos disculpas en lugar de permiso. Descubrimos lo que podíamos ser y no estábamos siendo. Estamos deseosas de creer y seguir creyendo. Somos las que recuperamos la esperanza, la ilusión. Despreciamos la integración y exigimos reparación. Somos las que no aceptamos las cosas que no podemos cambiar, sino que cambiamos las cosas que no podemos aceptar. Sabemos diferenciar entre queja y denuncia. Somos las que saben que el sistema no es justo y lo revientan con sus reglas desde dentro o desde fuera. Desechamos cuartos propios y creamos espacios comunitarios. Caemos, lloramos, nos empujan y entre nosotras nos levantamos. Somos las que se autovisibilizan, las que exigen la primera fila, las que pedimos que suban el volumen para que nuestra voz se escuche. Somos las que podemos luchar y lo hacemos por nosotras y por las que no pueden, por las que vendrán, por las que no quieren, por las que aún temen. Somos las que sabemos dónde están las suyas, las que nunca más estarán solas, porque yo soy tu hermana, sista. Yo soy tu hermana, bro. Somos hermanas. Somos vudú, tribu, comunidad, magia negra, candomblé, las que encontraron en nuestro interior el poder, las que conocen la fuerza de las ancestras, de las que sobrevivieron y de las que no lo hicieron también. Somos palenqueras, quilomberas, puras cimarronas. Somos chozas, bosquimanas, Wolof. Torex, 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 Torex. Somos hijas de Winnie Mandela, de María Ansue. Somos Dinka, Mursi, Turkana, Surma, Masai, Sengües, descendientes de las Amazonas de Dahomey. Khoikhoi, Anabonesas, Asantí, Sandohues, el fruto de la resistencia, la herencia del ser. Khoikhoi, Suat, Sigola, Ikawi, Oromes, Engueto, Quexe, Hamasí, Samdes. La poesía de Taitu Betún, Quenua, Kikumbus, Tenanasmu. Somos Bubis, Ibo, Fan, Wolof, reinas madres Asantí. Somos el fruto de la rebelión de las mujeres Mau Mau. Somos las sucesoras de las faraonas de Hatshepsut. Somos Fantis, somos la herencia de Ana, Nsinga, Ndongo y Matamba. Somos reinas ensingas, somos Yoruba, Fulani, Fantis, reinas de Egipto. Somos la memoria de Nefertiti, somos las ancestras del futuro. Somos diáspora, somos nación. Gracias. Thank you very much for everybody. Thank you very much for the invitation. Thank you.
Feliz Diada de Sant Jordi, even though it's the day of Saint Pascal. But Saint Pascal protected us from the rain, so I'm into it. I'd like to introduce Maria Elena Carr. Hola a todos. Who has translated, she appeared in last year's Sant Jordi Festival, reading Felicia Fuster. And today she'll be reading Felicia Fuster and Greta Sidling. Greta Sidling, who's an emerging poet.
It's a pen name. She is emerging, yes. Okay, so did I bring enough books? I hope so. I don't have a single one. So Catalonia has a very vivid and lively poetry community. So in 1983, a long time ago, Felicia Fuste presented her unpublished poetry manuscript to the Carles Riba Prize, which is a very prestigious prize, mostly for already published poets. No, she was unpublished. She was the runner-up. And it was like a lightning bolt because nobody had a clue who she was. She was a 63-year-old painter who had been living in Paris since 1951. It was a real boom. More recently, last year, Greta's sibling won the Amadeo Huguet Prize for Unpublished Poets. That was, it was the 60th edition, and it was an unprecedented, unanimous decision of the jury. She was 29 years old. So these two women, their dates of birth separated by 74 years. One of them is very much of the 20th century, Felicia Fuste, and the other one is very much of the 21st century, Greta. They did not know each other's work until Greta had already published her book. And they are, Felicia was writing mostly as an older woman, and Greta obviously has her life ahead of her. So, strangely enough, their poetry is very resonant, with many echoes, both in vocabulary, use of language, and the use of the poetic form, and also with their worldview. So, shall I read a poem from Greta? So Greta's poems are all very short and very fierce. She actually ponders in this collection, Ecografia, beautiful volume, she ponders whether a poem should be brief as a sip, as sudden as heartburn. I'll read this poem in Catalan first. Aqueito vaivé de flaçades de niu, molles i blanques. Jo corro pels boscos i els camins, i tu ets tots els esbarzers que m'esgarrapen. In English, the gentle back and forth of a blanket nest, soft and white. I run through woods and trails, and you are all the brambles that scrabble at me. So do you want to read a poem, or do I continue with this? Yeah.
Well, okay. I've been so busy organizing everybody else that I don't have the original Catalan of these poems, which is a shame, because I'd love for you to hear the Catalan. Everybody was thrilled to hear Kirman read in Basque. But I do want to say, though, that both Maria Elena Carr and I have work in The Common, which is an incredible literary magazine, and they did a dossier on Catalan women poets, women writers, not just poets. And they have recently lost their NEA funding. So has Archipelago. So have all of our not-for-profit publishers are losing their. So go and to the web and buy this, because it's an absolutely stunning. They have 2 issues a year, and they're all fantastic. You can see how beautiful it is. So Dolores Miquel is known for her kick-ass poetry. And I'm going to start with an old poem that she's sort of not that much in love with anymore, but I think it'll be interesting for you to see how she was writing when she was younger and what she's doing now. They're equally ferocious, but a little bit different. So this poem is called Our Mother. Our mother, who art in heat, blessed be your cunt, your epidural, your midwife. May your screams reach us, your love, your strength. Your will be done in our uterus on earth. Give us this day our everydays, and let not the sons of bitches abort love, make war. No, deliver us from them, now and forever. Vagina, a woman. This is Felicia's first collection, Una canción per ningún.
Era ningú y 30 diálogos inútiles, a song for nobody and 30 useless dialogues. So here I think you'll see that this difficulty in finding shelter or in finding connection that Greta was reading and had written about is also seen in Felicia's poetry. Those of you who don't understand Catalan, I will read it in English also. Volia escriure cartes de camins per un correu de fugues, parlar-te amb la remor de l'oliver sobre el front de la tarda, mai més amb el refugen dels mots abandonats com ponts que cauen, però no puc. Se m'han trencat amb una branca que s'asseca els dits. Si vens, potser m'arribaràs d'aquí a 1000 anys. Tot escoltant els trens, tremolo encara. El fred dels calendaris em fa por. Porto ja la nuestra dels qui moren i corren dins va arrodillar-se d'esperar. Abocada al rumut del jardí buit d'una pàgina inútil amb les restes de mi que quasi jo no soc, no puc. Volia dir-te un mot que no diré, un mot que ressonés per les 1000 cordes de tots els ulls que tanquen. English published in a special feature of Catalan of Hyperion.
By the way, Contramundum Press has a table here. You can go and probably, I hope, buy a copy of the special Catalan issue.
I wanted to write you letters of footpaths as a courier for getaways, to speak to you in the whisper of the olive tree, never again with the dizziness of words, jettisoned like falling bridges. But I can't. My fingers have snapped like a broken branch. If you come, you might reach me in 1,000 years, not counting the trains. I shudder still. The cold of calendars frightens me. I bear now the bareness of the dying, and dumped in a... never try to recite. I wear now the bareness of the dying, and in my heart, the weight is rusting away. Dumped into the garden of an empty page, with the scraps of me I barely am. I can't. I wanted to say a word that I won't say, a word to ring along the 1,000 ropes of all the eyes that shut me down.
So, this is a much more, you're going to have to listen a little more carefully. It doesn't have all the bad words. Sparrow hearts. The women of my family hunted birds, sparrows, and they made them sing, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, as the pots boiled. Inner courtyards wide open, wash tubs soaked, old, naked, moth-eaten, watery, unrinsed, first washed clothes. And the windows opened, gave birth, opened, so beauty would regale them with songs and flowers and flowers and songs, buzzing, zigzagging, chirping, whispering, not understanding that they understood nothing, nothing at all. They only knew, enjoyed, died for beauty. I will be smothered by a hitch of light, a pitch of light, a ditch of light. And so they decapitated the animal. They saw its blood run, rivulet of blood, run, with life, run, down the drain, run, trickle, girl blood, altar girl blood. And they didn't get it, but they ate it so as not to die. And they made me eat it so as not to die. And so thanks to death, we didn't die. The blood was inside us, caged, protected, assimilated, encircled, the blood inside and not out. Little daughter, they called me. Little darling, they said. Apple of my eye. My little blood, they said to me. Said. moving anxiously, nervously, rushing back and forth and back in those little apartments where I was imagining jungles full of animals, flaming volcanoes, the earth opening beneath my feet, the rain ravaging life, the thunder and lightning burning down the houses, the snow destroying hearts I imagined. Or the blood imagined always enclosed within the circuit, blood shut in, not spilt. And they sewed. They sewed a lot of things. They patched up sheets the way they patched up lives. And they patched up shadows and words and men and mountains. They patched up as if they had been told a handful of mean truths, a handful of coins worth of truths, a sprinkling of truth, a couple of pinches of truths, a few threads of very mean truths, little hapless truths, impoverished, much poorer than those beggars who knocked on the door every day. Knock, knock. Yes? Could you give me something? It's cold and I'm hungry. If you wait a few minutes, I will make you an omelet on bread, and you will become angels. And in this way, amid angels, and without answers, they lived. It is as if they knew that no one knew anything. And so they opened their legs and were inseminated, plowed, used up, tanned, possessed, allowing a new being to inhabit them. In the burrow, close to the bones, stuffed between their organs, wet with their liquids, swallowed up by their blood, protected by a bag, pelted by the heart and the voices that came from the other world, with lots of names spoken backwards, the names of mystery. Wow. Another thing about these little beautiful magazines is that thanks to these translations, Dolores Miquel is in the Academy of American Poets. So that's huge. And because you translated her. Well, the poem is the poem. Yes, yes.
The poem is the poem, but the translation is another poem.
Yep, that's true.
So far, you must be very far. No ringing reaches me from even the stones I crumble, so the twigs bud on your latest parabolas. In vain I ask the rolling voices, where is the focus of your north? I melt, my cardboard in a downpour, and not even the wheel ruts beckon me when the shortcuts of your eyes bring me back inside the afternoon of my clouds. The autumn burns me because I know it's getting late. The late of those hours torn apart by clocks forbidden in dreams. Send me, if you can, a thread to resew me and let me summon you. Already the sky slashes me, the moon denies me. The shadow of the shadow sets my course. And already in eclipse, I spin into the orbit of a time with no exit. Beautiful.
I wanted to read a poem by Àngels Gregori, who is an extraordinary Valencian poet, but I couldn't find it. So, you have another poem, right?
No, we should.
Yeah? Okay. Well, should I introduce you, Bird Yellow? Ignacio, should we introduce Bird Yellow? Okay. So,
thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Maria Elena. This is our third time reading together, so I think we're a tandem. It is my great pleasure to introduce a young musician from Barcelona, whose stage name is Bird Yellow. And I think it will be much better if he explains his music to you, but we're very grateful that he's here. We're grateful to all of you for being here. Buy books, get a rose, buy books always. Read translations. Thank you.
it ends, then what's the point? I thought it was going somewhere. If it ends, then what's the point? And all the time I gave to you, it was going nowhere. When it came the time to choose, what a waste. What a waste. You say what a waste. What a waste. Doesn't it mean something to you to be here right now? Is it a waste to be passing through? Doesn't it mean something to you to touch ground with pride? Is it a waste to be passing through? Big fat waste. It's not a waste. It's not a waste. No, it's not a waste. No, it's not a waste. Her love, it's not a waste. No, it's not a waste. Her love, it's not a waste. No, it's not a waste. Thought it would go on forever. You'd be my one and true. Thought it would go on forever. You'd be my one and true. Oh, what a waste. Yeah, what a waste. You say what a waste. What a waste. No, it's not a waste. Her love is not a waste. It's not a waste. Her love is not a waste. No, it's not a waste. Her love is not a waste. It's not a waste. Her love is not a waste.
Bona tarda. La meu, que no parla. Hola. Feliç Sant Jordi. Feliç Sant Jordi a tothom. Em fa molta il·lusió estar aquí i celebrar-ho. Jo m'ho vaig perdre ara quan va ser Sant Jordi i em va fer molta ràbia. Per mi és de les festes més maques de Barcelona i de Catalunya i em fa molta il·lusió celebrar-ho aquí, encara que sigui tard i més tard. Però bueno, moltes gràcies per convidar-me. Tocaré unes quantes cançons. Dic Gerard. My name is Gerard. This is all called The Bird Yellow. Thank you for having me. I'm going to play a few songs. This next song is a love song that I thought would be nice. It was for a person, but today it'll be for home and Sant Jordi and all these things that we miss from far away.
I love you. What's that? Honey, these words, all they make us feel something deep inside. Hard to know why, hard to be sure. Still, I missed you. I wanted to chat. It said we'd let time go by to help heal. So here's silence with the hopes that we can survive. I love you. Simple as that. It's just a few words said out loud. I love you. 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 No tinc ni idea de què esteu escoltant des d'allà, però bueno. Seguirà. Aquesta següent cançó es titula... Vaya lío. Aquesta següent cançó es titula Too Late Mama. No sé si parla en anglès. Una mica un lío, això. Maybe I'll speak in English. En català. The songs are in English, I'll talk in català. Aquesta següent cançó es titula Too Late Mama. I la vaig escriure quan vaig veure un grafiti que deia Demasiado tarde mamá. Moltes llengües aquí barrejades. I em va agradar Demasiado tarde mamá, massa tard mamà. Perquè deia moltes coses i en 3 paraules volia dir molta cosa. Llavors vaig escriure aquesta cançó pel que per mi significa Too Late Mama. I think I need a minute to get my head straight. I swear that I'm an angel, but got a demon to the right and a demon to the left. The thing that I just needed to take
and it tasted like power. Where was it? Powder. I forget. A bit too late, Mama. Oh, that blue is turned red. A bit too late, Mama. There's a hole in my heart and a mess in my head. Everything is changing. Or is it me who's stuck the same? Ocean wave every day by the beach, lure away. Am I crazy? Just be naive. A bit too late, Mama. All the blues turn red. Oh, it's a bit too late, Mama. There's a hole in my heart, a mess in my head. It's just a bit too late. Thank you. There's a spider on the microphone somewhere. You knew me before, and now you know some more. Have I really changed that much? The ripping of the law splashed blood on the wall. All our neighbors slowly bleeding out. One day we're old, where we used to go. Now it's just a store we walk by, not turn around just to get you off my mind. Shining in the light, there's other customers picking up the red. Expected worse, I guess. Ain't that happy? There's no reason to cry. 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 My time will come sudden like the storm, way harder than porn, dripping onto everything. No knife shot before the fall runs below the door. Who light upon the cold bleaks down? My knees are bending down. Hold me by the clouds. Everything that's left of me now. And every night's the same, gambling with our blame. For fame, fame, fame. There's no reason to cry. 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 No. You know me before, now you know some more.
Si lo haces con tu pero para que esos datos que no les están especialmente nada, es que lo arrancas a que todo el mundo sepa que aunque no tengas
faré un parell de cançons més i moltes gràcies per convidarme, gracias a Ignacio por llamarme un poco así last minute, pero muy contento de celebrar Sant Jordi aquí con todos vosotros. Y gracias por los caldos a Neto. Joder, qué lujo. Me han guardado 2. Y ya está, el año que viene más. Mejor. Muy bien. Nos vemos muy pronto. Todo esto se llama The Bird Yellow, in case anyone wants to listen to more music. Everything is online. It's called The Bird Yellow. Yeah, I'll see you around.
No, you're joking, right? Come here, this way.
my mother. First, I take London, then New York, and I like you hold in my night, and I like you breathing on my bed. You lie in the corridor, air full. It's just temperature, and I turn red. Oh, my knees are sore. First, we take London, then New York. First, we take London, then New York. First, we take London, then New York. And every time I see you falling, I get down on my knees and pray, waiting for the final moment to get down on my knees and I'm blue and I only want to eat for baby, baby. There's a tune that I sing in bed and I'm going crazy, crazy. So I went out and got diagnosed by 100 ladies, ladies. Each one with a new vaccine for my heart. Oh, but oh, worry now, my love. Ooh, where they know, my love. I'm leaving, but I'll always be around for my baby, baby. I'm proud of the way that we're handling it lately, lately. Got a feeling that someday you'll say we did amazing, amazing. Walking down the brightest avenues, World we know, my love. World we know, my love. There's a rain that's thinking of you. There's a trace of your lips in my daydream. Sounds like bullshit, but it's true. There's days I wake up feeling amazing. Days I'm feeling blue. Feeling blue. Feeling blue. Feeling blue. There's a rain that's thinking of you. There's a trace of your lips in my daydream. Sounds like bullshit, but it's true. There's days I wake up feeling amazing. Days I'm feeling blue. Feeling blue. Feeling blue. Feeling blue. Feeling. I'm feeling. 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 Feeling.
Moltes gràcies. Feliç Sant Jordi a tothom. Moltes gràcies.